Okay, I'm ready. Hi, I'm Andra Day, and this is Watch With Me. I think film and TV allow you to just see yourself in other worlds. They allow you to immerse yourself in other places and other periods and other people's lives. In United States versus Billie Holiday, I played Billie Holiday. Ray was actually one of my primary. I had a handful of just inspirations while I was on set and trying to drop into Billie. A little bit of my idea of who Ray is now is actually Jamie Foxx in that movie. To me, it was like the epitome of getting lost in a character. There is a scene where Ray is learning to kind of hear more clearly after he's lost his sight. You know, they say when you lose one sense, the other senses are heightened, and I think that's what we're actually seeing in that scene. In that moment, we're just watching his ears become his eyes. I get excited when I think about a younger generation that when they think of scary movies or horror movies, they'll think of these movies. If you have not seen Get Out, you have to watch Get Out.
Good to see another brother around here. Yes, of course it is.
It is a true social theme and a true social message about equality, and it's wrapped up in this horror film. That, to me, is the most effective way to talk about those issues.
You will never understand it. I want you to feel guilty for feeling safe.
I've always been a person who's loved movies and TV shows just about vampires and werewolves and witches and goblins. That's a genre and that's a world where we don't necessarily see us. I think Lovecraft Country, it's basically a socially conscious message. It actually deals with racism, but tells it in this sort of magical world. I love movies that can really take real social themes and kind of marry them to this make-believe.
Go, let it go!
Hello? That was a stop sign? I totally paused.
You should watch Clueless because it's a classic.
Ew! Get off of me! Ugh!
As if. I loved it for this idea of Beverly Hills, which was a world that was completely different and unknown to me. And I loved it for the fashion. She's looking through her closet and everything's organized on a computer and it kind of moves through like, you know, when you go to the dry cleaners. And that has actually been a dream and a goal of mine. Precious is on my list because the movie is just amazing. It says a lot about how society has described herself and how much of those narratives she actually believed.
Clarice, something you do well?
Nothing.
Everybody's good at something.
There's a scene where she's looking in the mirror, but the person that she's actually seeing back is this blonde, kind of skinny white woman. The theme is heavy about self-loathing. The fantasy was that if she looked like her, then she would probably have a better life. That performance is like burned into my memory, and it was a huge inspiration for me.
I'll be okay, I guess. Because I'm looking up.
Do you know where the station is, please?
One of my favorite things that I've seen is I May Destroy You by Michaela Cole. She's a genius. The relationships and the friendships she has are so important. It spoke to me really heavily about adopted family, you know, and that they can truly be your real family. Her and her friend, Terry, they say, my birth is your birth.
Your death is my death.
My death is your death. To me, it just says, you know, for life. Like, I have you for life. I love you. I love the way they express their love for each other. I think film and TV are entertainment, but I also think they can heal society. Family, you gotta watch Veneno. It's about a beautiful, beautiful trans woman and her experience growing up in Spain and just how she reached sort of these heights of fame that were not expected. And she's inspiring this young kid, this young writer to go on her own trans journey. It's just one of the best things I have ever seen in film or TV. The way it's shot, the acting, the casting. Understanding is something that really is lacking in society, and I think this show spells it out and humanizes these people so well in such a beautiful way. Last Black Man in San Francisco is truly adorable. The opening scene, two men sharing a skateboard, is just, it's incredible. I do like heavy themes that are told in a light, beautiful, whimsical, creative way. I think that's just the beauty of cinema and the beauty of making art. The group of dudes on the street corner, I know those dudes. Like, I grew up around those dudes. I could name those dudes, but they were painted in such a different way in the movie, which I thought was so beautiful. To me, it is cinematically a goal. The writer and the director grew up in Oakland, and there's something about that experience when you just tell the truth about your life, I think that resonates so heavily every time I see it.
It makes you feel special.
The more you're challenged with something, the more you grow in that area. Challenging movies just make us better people, they make us a better society. Peace, thank you for hanging out with me. Now I want you to watch with me. See my watch list and more on Google TV. Peace, y'all.